When a Woman Loves a Woman. In the quaint coastal town of Merrimack, where the salt of the sea mingled with the sweetness of blooming wildflowers, lived two women whose paths were about to intertwine in the most profound way. Clara was a free-spirited artist, her days painted in vivid strokes of color and emotion. Her small gallery, nestled between a coffee shop and a vintage bookstore, was a haven for those who sought beauty in the chaos of life. Sophia, on the other hand, was practical and grounded, a successful marine biologist dedicated to preserving the ocean's fragile ecosystems. Their worlds were different, but fate had a plan. The first time they met was during a community art festival. Clara's booth was vibrant with splashes of paint and lively sketches of the ocean, while Sophia ambled through, drawn in by the depiction of swaying kelp forests. With a laugh, Clara remarked, "It looks like my art is the only thing keeping the ocean alive in this town." Sophia's eyes sparkled with delight, and from there, a conversation blossomed like a wildflower amidst the sand. They found common ground in their love for the sea, sharing stories about their childhood adventures, Clara painting the waves and Sophia swimming in them. The sun began to set, casting an orange glow over Merrimack, and as time slipped away, they exchanged numbers with a spark of promise lingering in the air. Days turned into weeks and their connection deepened. They found themselves meeting for coffee, long walks on the beach, and laughter-filled dinners where vulnerability began to replace the casual banter. Clara admired Sophia's dedication to her work, the way she spoke passionately about every creature of the ocean. Sophia was captivated by Clara's imagination, her ability to translate feelings and dreams onto a canvas, painting colors that had no names. Yet, amid the warmth of their growing bond, both women battled their inner demons. Clara's past was a series of broken relationships, dreams shattered by the weight of expectations. She feared that opening her heart would only lead to pain, a cycle she had come to know too well. Sophia, on the other hand, had lived in a world that often valued logic over emotion, a world that had repeatedly forced her to hide her true self. The fear of rejection loomed heavily, a barrier she struggled to break as she felt the stirring of love that transcended her previous understanding. One evening, they took a walk along the beach, moonlight shimmering over the waves, whispering secrets that only the night could hold. Clara's heart raced as she sensed the shift in the air, an electric current sparking between them. She stopped, turning to face Sophia, her voice barely above a whisper, "Can you feel this? It's different, what we have." Sophia hesitated, the weight of unspoken feelings heavy on her heart. "Clara, she began, her voice trembling with the fear of vulnerability. "I've never felt this way before. I've been scared of what it could mean. You're my best friend, and I don't want to lose that. But I can't deny the way my heart, it longs for you." In that moment, Clara took a step closer, her hands trembling as they reached out to explore the depth of their connection. "Then let's not hide. Let's honor what's in our hearts, no matter the risk." Under the stars, they shared a hesitant but electrifying kiss, the kind that sent waves through their souls, crashing upon the shores of their hearts. It was a kiss filled with fear and hope, vulnerability and courage. As they navigated the new terrain of their relationship, they faced challenges that were both familiar and daunting. Clara had to confront her past and learn that love didn't have to mean loss. Sophia had to embrace her true self and let go of the limitations imposed by the world. Together, they painted a life full of love, laughter, and art, blending their dreams and aspirations with the colors of their love. Months passed, and one day, while Clara was preparing for her biggest art show yet, she discovered a canvas that spoke of their journey, a swirling ocean of blues and greens, interspersed with bright strokes of gold and pink. It told the story of two souls who had been brave enough to dive into the depths of love. On the night of the gallery opening, surrounded by friends and community, Clara gazed across the room and found Sophia's eyes. There was pride, love, and an unbreakable bond that radiated between them. As the crowd admired the art, Sophia stepped forward, her heart racing. She reached for Clara's hand, and in that moment, they knew they had become something greater than either could have imagined. When a woman loves a woman, Clara realized, there are no limits, only possibilities. And as they stood together amidst the beauty they had created, they knew that their love was a masterpiece, destined to inspire others to paint their own journeys with the colors of authenticity, love, and courage. As the gallery buzzed with the energy of art enthusiasts, Clara felt a swell of joy alongside a tinge of apprehension. The warmth of Sophia's hand in hers was a steady reminder that they were navigating this new world together. This was not just about Clara's art, it was about the love that infused and transformed every stroke of paint across the canvas. During the opening, a local journalist approached the couple, intrigued by the ethereal beauty of Clara's work and the palpable connection she shared with Sophia. "What's the inspiration behind this piece?" the journalist asked, nodding towards the canvas depicting their journey. Clara exchanged a glance with Sophia. She knew this was a moment that could either expose the raw truth of their relationship or keep it shrouded in ambiguity. Taking a deep breath, Clara decided to be honest. "This piece represents love in its purest form, the type of love that is not always accepted by the world. But it's a force that creates beauty and dives deep into the depths of the soul." With a gentle squeeze of Clara's hand, Sophia added, "It's about embracing who we are, and the strength found in vulnerability. Love is love, in all forms." The journalist smiled, taking notes, sensing the depth of their connection. As the conversation continued, Clara felt a new weight lifting off her shoulders, the burden of secrecy dissipating in the warm atmosphere of acceptance. After the opening, as friends trickled out and the gallery dimmed, Clara and Sophia remained, savoring the moment. "Did you see their faces?" Clara beamed, adrenaline still pumping through her veins. "They really connected with the message." Sophia nodded, her expression serious. "It's beautiful to see." "But, Clara," she hesitated, her brow furrowing, "what if the world doesn't react positively? Not everyone is as open-minded as those we met tonight." Clara took a step closer, searching Sophia's eyes for reassurance. "I understand your fear. But isn't that what makes this love worth celebrating? If we want to share our story, we have to embrace the risk. Every artist risks rejection, but they also risk connection." Sophia's heart raced at Clara's words. She admired Clara's bravery, the way she turned fear into art. But deep down, Sophia felt the pressure of societal expectations, the weight of her own limitations. "I want to embrace it, I do, but I don't want to lose you if things get complicated." "Things will get complicated," Clara whispered, reaching up to cradle Sophia's face. "But we're already in this together. With love, we can weather any storm." Chapter 2, Beyond the Canvas. Over the next few weeks, Clara and Sophia took their relationship into the public sphere. They went on romantic dinners, strolled hand in hand along the beach, and even attended community events as a couple. Together, they embraced the beauty of their love, celebrating the little victories and moments of intimacy that blossomed between them. But the tide began to turn when Clara's artwork gained traction online. Her social media exploded as she shared her journey of self-discovery, revealing her desire to explore love with women. While many embraced her honesty, others were met with harsh criticism and vitriol. One day, while working in her studio, Clara stumbled upon a barrage of negative comments on a post showcasing her latest work. "This is not art. It's an abomination. She should keep her love to herself." The pain twisted in her stomach, a weight she had thought she could bear. Conflicted, Clara hesitated to share the backlash with Sophia. Was it fair to pull her into the storm? But as the hours passed, her anguish deepened, and she found herself unable to hide it any longer. That evening, they sat on the porch watching the sunset, the vibrant colors reflecting both the beauty and the turmoil within Clara. "Sophia," she began, her voice quivering. "I've been struggling with something." Sophia turned towards her, concern etching her brow. "What is it?" Clara took a deep breath, emotions flooding in waves. "I've received negative comments on my art. Some folks aren't accepting our love. It feels like I'm painting on glass, and every stroke is a risk of shattering. I don't know if I can handle this kind of judgment." Sophia's heart sank. She understood how the outside world could sting, how love, the very thing that brought light, could also cast shadows. I'm so sorry, Clara. Those comments don't define you or your art. Remember, for every critique, there are those who celebrate you. I know, but it feels so heavy right now. Tears shimmered in Clara's eyes. What if this rejection breaks us? I don't want to lose what we have. I'm scared of being hurt again. Clara, Sophia said gently, taking her hand, we will face this together. We are stronger united. I refuse to let fear dictate what we share or who we are. Love may attract negativity, but it also builds community. We are part of something bigger. As they sat together under the emerging stars, a realization dawned upon Clara, a shift in perspective. The love they nurtured was a light that could illuminate even the darkest corners. Choosing to be courageous wasn't the absence of fear, it was about holding on to what mattered most and confronting the shadows heaving in and out. That night, Clara picked up her paintbrush and returned to her blank canvas. Inspired, she painted with a fervor that felt like both liberation and rebellion. With bold strokes, she expressed every shade of love, passion, pain, joy, and hope. Chapter 3: The Gallery of Life. As weeks turned into months, Clara and Sophia faced the world hand in hand. While Clara's art continued to attract diverse reactions, community acceptance began to grow. They found solace in conversations with allies and activists who championed love stories like theirs. They also started volunteering at local LGBTQ+ organizations, driven by a newfound purpose to create spaces where love could thrive without judgment. They organized events celebrating diversity in all its forms, where voices were heard, stories shared, and connections made. Finally, Clara decided to host another gallery event, a showcase dedicated not just to her art but also to the stories and love of others in the LGBTQ+ community. She titled it Shores of Love, a collection that highlighted the beauty of love in its varying forms, crafted from heart and soul. The night of the showcase arrived, echoing with laughter, conversation, and hope. Clara felt a sense of fulfillment as attendees appreciated not just her art but celebrated their own journeys. In that space, under the warm glow of lights, love became a palpable force that united everyone present. As the evening wound down, Clara caught Sophia's eye, a beautiful smile spreading across her face as they sought each other out in the crowd. Just as Clara was lost in the affection of the moment, a familiar face approached. It was the same journalist who had spoken to them on the night of their opening months ago. "This is incredible," he said, eyes twinkling with admiration. "Your growth, your courage, it's inspiring to see your journey unfold." "Thank you," Clara said, her heart swelling with gratitude. "It's been a wild ride, but I've learned that loving openly and true is a revolutionary act." Sophia leaned in, her presence a soothing balm to the anxiety that had once wrapped around Clara's heart. As the night drew to a close, Clara and Sophia found a quiet corner of the gallery, surrounded by their triumph. "I'm glad we faced those fears," Sophia said softly, wrapping her arms around Clara. "We turned the pain into purpose. And love became our strength," Clara replied, her voice barely above a whisper. As they held each other under the shimmering stars, they knew their love story was just beginning. Clara realized that, when a woman loves a woman, it's not just about personal affection, it's about the profound impact of vulnerability and courage that ripples outward, igniting change and inspiring others to embrace their own truths. With hearts intertwined, they stood together, ready to face whatever the tides would bring, knowing that love, in all its forms, would always guide them home. Chapter 4: Crashing Waves and Rising Tides. As the weeks rolled on from the Shores of Love showcase, Clara and Sophia found themselves entrenched in a newfound rhythm. Their lives became an intricate dance of passion, creativity, and activism. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, they cherished moments filled with laughter, intimacy, and dreams stitched together over steaming cups of tea. However, with success came a set of challenges neither had anticipated. Clara's art received attention well beyond their small town, leading to inquiries for larger exhibitions in cities like New York and San Francisco. While the opportunities were thrilling, they brought along a certain pressure, questions about where Clara's heart truly lay in her burgeoning career versus her relationship. One balmy evening, as they sat outside on the porch, Clara's phone buzzed incessantly with new messages and notifications. She sighed, glancing at the screen. "I'm overwhelmed, Sophia. I've been offered an exhibit in New York, but it's happening in just a month. I feel the pressure to create something bigger, better." Sophia looked at her, balancing the thrill of Clara's achievement with the fear of what it might mean for their time together. "That's amazing news. But I can see you're struggling with it. What's on your mind?" "It's just, what if I take this huge leap and lose you in the process? What if the time I spend away means I can't paint from the heart anymore? I don't want to sacrifice our relationship for my career," Clara confessed, her voice thick with emotion. Sophia reached out, intertwining her fingers with Clara's. "Clara, your art is a reflection of who you are, and who you are includes me now. It's okay to chase your dreams. I'll support you no matter what. Just don't forget that we're in this together." "Are you sure?" Clara asked, her eyes searching Sophia's for reassurance. "What if that time away makes you question things? I want you to be happy, too. The only thing that would make me question us is if we stopped communicating openly," Sophia said, her voice steady. "We both need to continue growing. Isn't that what love is about, supporting each other even when paths diverge?" Clara leaned in and kissed Sophia, the gesture infused with gratitude and fresh acceptance. "Then I'll do it. I'll take the plunge. But you have to promise me we'll prioritize time for us too." "I promise," Sophia smiled, squeezing Clara's hand. "And I might even come along sometimes, to see you shine." As Clara embarked on her preparation for the New York exhibit, she discovered a renewed sense of purpose in her creativity. The paintings began spilling onto the canvas like a tide washing over the shore, each piece infused with the essence of love, vulnerability, and the beauty of their shared journey. She often found herself working late into the night, the glow of her studio lights illuminating not just the art she created, but the emotions that danced between them. Chapter 5: Distance and Reflection. As the opening night for her New York exhibit approached, Clara and Sophia navigated a balance between Clara's mounting responsibilities and quality time. The distance began to create an uneasy tension, a subtle shift in their dynamic as both women wrestled with their individual aspirations while clinging to the love they cultivated. Sophia embraced her role as Clara's biggest supporter, attending meetings to help coordinate the logistics of the exhibit while working on her own marine biology projects. However, the more Clara immersed herself in her work, the more Sophia felt like she was fading into the background. Late nights spent in the studio, deadlines looming large, and her own passions increasingly sidelined began to take a toll. One night, after an exhausting day, Clara returned to the gallery where she could hear the strains of an emotional ballad in the air, the joyous chatter of guests swirling through the space. She saw Sophia, surrounded by friends, laughter spilling from her lips, but Clara sensed something deeper, a hint of longing behind Sophia's bright eyes. The exhibit was a roaring success, the room filled with energy and admiration from onlookers, yet Clara felt a pang in her heart. She pulled Sophia aside gently, a sense of urgency building. "You're so amazing tonight. Your friendship is such a pillar for me. But I also feel that I've been neglecting you." Sophia hesitated, then spoke softly. "Clara, I'm proud of you, but I think we need to talk. I miss us. The time we'd spend together, just being." Clara looked into Sophia's earnest eyes, recognizing the ache there. "I'm so sorry. I didn't realize how consumed I had become. I thought the success would make us both happy, but I see it's creating a distance. I don't want to lose what we share. You're the heart of my art. We need to find a way to navigate this. Your success is beautiful, but I want to ensure we don't drift apart." Sophia's voice cracked, revealing the vulnerability she carried underneath her composed facade. "I don't want that either," Clara admitted, tears forming at the edges of her eyes. "Let's come up with a plan. We can schedule times for us, no matter how busy life gets." The two women embraced tightly, the worry still lingering in the air but overshadowed by their commitment to nurture their love amidst the chaos. They chose to take one step at a time, deciding to carve out weekends dedicated solely to each other, exploring art galleries, cooking together, and reconnecting with the core of their bond. Chapter 6: A Canvas of Tomorrow. As the exhibit in New York came to a close, Clara felt exhilaration and exhaustion wash over her. The reviews were overwhelmingly positive, and the recognition she had gained felt like a dream. But as she packed up her artwork, a realization dawned on her: the pieces she had painted were mere reflections of what she held dear: her life, her relationships, and Sophia's unwavering support. Returning home to Merrimack, Clara found solace in the familiar embrace of her town and the love that awaited her. Sophia greeted her with open arms, their reunion filled with laughter and tender moments that melted away the distance they had been wrestling with. "You did it. I'm so proud of you," Sophia exclaimed, pulling back to gaze at Clara's beaming face, an excitement swirling in the air. "I couldn't have done it without you by my side." "Thank you for believing in me," Clara replied, her heart soaring with gratitude. Days turned into weeks, and the couple began to focus on not just what was lost but what was being built between them: greater communication, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. They started collaborating on projects that merged their passions, such as community arts initiative that showcased local LGBTQ+ artists and marine conservation awareness, combining Clara's artistic flair with Sophia's scientific knowledge. One evening, as they wrapped up a planning session, Clara couldn't help but smile at Sophia. "You know, my greatest masterpiece has always been what we create together. I want this to be a part of my journey too." "Then let's do it." Sophia grinned, the excitement firing up her spirit. The prospect of their combined efforts filled them both with an electric charge of anticipation. Soon, the Shores of Love organization blossomed, capturing the hearts of the community and igniting a platform where others could share their love stories. Colors painted the walls of the gallery that housed their work: gay pride flags, oceanic imagery, and artwork that pulsated with life. Clara knew her canvases spoke not just of romantic love but of unity and resilience, and she was eager to share the stories of others who'd fought against adversity. On a bright summer day when the organization celebrated its first anniversary, Clara and Sophia stood before the crowd, infused with excitement and a twinge of nervousness. Clara took a deep breath and spoke, the air shimmering with anticipation. "Today, we're not just celebrating art, we're celebrating love in all its forms, every shade, every hue, and every story. It is in love that we find the courage to face our fears and push past the waves of doubt." Sophia stepped forward, her voice strong. "This space is a testament to our shared journey, a reminder that standing together can make us unbreakable. Together, let's continue to uplift one another." As applause filled the air, Clara looked out at the faces of community members she'd come to adore, pride swelling in her chest. She felt Sophia's hand clasped tightly in hers, their connection an unbreakable bond that reminded her they'd risen above and beyond every challenge. With tears of joy brimming in her eyes, Clara recognized the truth she'd painted into every canvas: when a woman loves a woman, they can create a masterpiece together, a swirling tapestry of passion, courage, and the beauty that arises from love itself. And just like that, they took the first steps into a future alive with possibilities, hand in hand, heart in heart, ready to take on whatever waves may come, knowing that love would always be their guiding light. Chapter 7: The Calm After the Storm. As summer transitioned into fall, the Shores of Love initiative flourished, fostering a vibrant community that celebrated not only LGBTQ+ identities but also the power of creative expression. Clara and Sophia attended art walks, hosted workshops, and organized events where diverse voices echoed through the air, sharing stories of love, struggle, and acceptance. Each interaction deepened their understanding of the journey ahead, entwining their lives with others seeking solace through art. But just as they thrived, life threw unexpected challenges their way. One day, as autumn leaves began to swirl beneath an overcast sky, Sophia received news that the research project she had been dedicating countless hours to was abruptly cancelled due to funding cuts. The weight of disappointment settled on her shoulders, casting a shadow over her usual optimism. That evening, Clara found Sophia sitting alone in the living room, the weight of the world etched onto her beautiful features. "Hey, love," Clara said softly, placing her bag on the floor. "What's on your mind?" Sophia sighed, her gaze distant. "They cancelled the project. I thought we could make a real impact this year, and now it feels like everything I worked for is slipping away." Clara knelt beside her, taking both of Sophia's hands in hers. "I'm so sorry. I know how much this meant to you. It just feels like I'm failing, after everything we fought for together," Sophia continued, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "I thought we were on solid ground, but now I don't know what's next." "Maybe this is a chance to reimagine what next means for you," Clara replied gently. "You have so much to offer, and the world needs your voice as much as it needs art. What if we took our passion for marine life and integrated it into Shores of Love? We could focus on creativity and conservation together." Sophia looked up, surprised. "You really think that could work?" "Absolutely," Clara affirmed, her eyes gleaming with inspiration. "Let's host an event combining art and science, where artists can create pieces inspired by the ocean and its creatures. You could speak about the importance of preserving marine ecosystems, and we can raise funds for organizations that share your passion." A flicker of hope ignited in Sophia's chest. That could actually reach people in a meaningful way. It would celebrate both of our passions in one place. "And we can do it together, as a united front," Clara added with a smile. "Let's show what we can accomplish when we combine our strengths." With renewed determination, they spent hours planning the event. They named it Waves of Change, an initiative to raise awareness about marine conservation through art. The excitement returned to Sophia's eyes, and with Clara's support, she started to dream again. Chapter 8, A Canvas of Hope. As the day of Waves of Change approached, Clara and Sophia worked tirelessly. They reached out to fellow artists, marine biologists, and the community, inviting them to contribute artwork that showcased the ocean's beauty and fragility. Through collaboration, they intertwined stories of passion, the urgent need for conservation, and the universal language of love found in nature. On the day of the event, the gallery buzzed with anticipation. Colorful artwork hung throughout the space, pieces depicting brilliant coral reefs, marine creatures, and abstract interpretations of fluid ocean movement. Sophia stood before a gathering crowd, her heart pounding, but her voice emerged steady, infused with the same passion that had driven her research. "Today, we come together not just to celebrate art, but to recognize how intertwined our lives are with the ocean. Every piece of art you see today speaks to the beauty we must protect. It reminds us that change is possible when we come together with a shared purpose," she declared. Clara stood to the side, her heart swelling with pride. This was not just an exhibition, this was a manifestation of their love, how they uplifted each other amid struggles and triumphs. As the evening progressed, attendees mingled, appreciating the artwork while engaging in conversations that sparked new ideas. Clara painted live, creating a canvas inspired by the ocean's waves and the stories of love she had witnessed throughout the event. As she stepped back, a silhouette of waves emerged, punctuated by the silhouettes of people holding hands, representing unity against the tides of adversity. The final addition to her masterpiece was a heart, encased in a ripple, a symbol of the love that thrived despite challenges. When the night drew to a close and the last guest departed, Clara and Sophia sat together amidst the remnants of the event, the laughter and camaraderie still echoing in their hearts. "Tonight was incredible," Sophia said, leaning into Clara. "I can't believe how far we've come. This really felt like a moment of healing, not just for us, but for everyone." "I couldn't agree more," Clara smiled, her eyes glistening. "We're planting seeds for future change. Together, we've created something beautiful, and I know it will only continue to grow." Chapter 9, Anchored in Love. As weeks turned into months, Waves of Change became an annual event that amplified their mission, intertwining love, art, and conservation. Clara and Sophia, once two distinct paths, had become intertwined into a remarkable tapestry of hope, understanding, and unwavering commitment. Every challenge they faced now felt surmountable, and their love had matured into a steady, resilient force. They found balance in each other's lives, prioritizing communication and carving out blended spaces for both their passions. One chilly winter evening, as they prepared dinner together, a comfortable silence wrapped around them like a favorite blanket. Clara stirred the sauce as she glanced at Sophia, lost in thought. "What's on your mind?" Sophia asked, her hands busy with chopping vegetables. Clara hesitated, then said, "I've been thinking about the future. How you and I can continue this journey together. What if we took our commitment to the next level? You know, like, what does a lifetime look like for us?" Sophia looked up, an ember of surprise sparking in her eyes. "You mean?" "Yeah," Clara replied with a genuine smile. "Would you marry me? I can't imagine not sharing the rest of my life with you." Tears pooled in Sophia's eyes, and she crossed the kitchen to wrap her arms around Clara tightly, emotion overflowing from her heart. "Yes. 1,000 times, yes." Laughter echoed as they embraced each other, their bodies woven together like the myriad colors of Clara's canvases. In that moment, they understood that the love they nurtured was not just an expression of commitment, it was a commitment to face the world together, to weather storms, and to celebrate each other's individual brilliance. Epilogue, Love, Unbound. As the years passed, Clara and Sophia thrived in both their personal and public lives. Their partnership bore the fruit of artistic and environmental endeavors while serving as a beacon of hope for others. Surrounded by family and friends on a serene day at the beach, Clara and Sophia exchanged vows beneath an arch of flowers and shells, each bloom symbolizing the dreams they had fought for and the love that could weather any storm. Their ceremony was a true reflection of them, vibrant, heartfelt, and rooted in the commitment to protect the world they cherished together. With the ocean waves crashing behind them, they promised to embrace life with creativity, compassion, and a fierce love that would forever continue to inspire not only their journey but those around them. As they shared their first kiss as a married couple, Clara realized that this was merely the beginning of a lifetime spent creating, dreaming, and loving. The canvas of their lives was still being painted, each day bringing new colors, new adventures, and infinite opportunities. In a world that constantly changed, their love remained an enduring, steady force, an ever-present reminder that when a woman loves a woman, they paint a legacy together that could illuminate the darkest corners and inspire change. And with that, Clara and Sophia stepped boldly into their future, hand in hand, hearts unbound, ready to face the waves of life, forever anchored in love.